How's it going, everyone? Welcome back. Hopefully everyone is having a lovely day. The Cincinnati Reds made a splash last night here, inking Hunter Greene, Ace Hunter Greene, to a 6-year, $53 million contract extension. A contract extension that will make him still a Red for potentially 2 years past his 6 years of arbitration, so 2 years in a free agency. Year 1 lockdown, year 2 a club option for $21 million. Year 1 a $16 million signing there for, or per year we should say there, for Hunter Greene, but averaging out overall $9 million a year. And there's a lot to really digest about this. I've seen people on both sides of the fence here on how much they've liked this contract signing, how much they haven't. We'll understand first of all why people don't like the contract. First of all, Hunter Greene struggling to find a strike zone, struggling to get deep into games. There's a lot of concern about his control. There's a lot of people that are concerned about his pitch velocity and being able to maintain that throughout his career. Drop a couple miles an hour, you can't find the strike zone. You got to find another way to get guys out, and all of a sudden you're concerned. You know what though? Let me tell you why I love this contract signing. Tell me if this sounds familiar. The Reds bring in a 105-mile-an-hour hurler. First couple years in the big leagues, ain't nobody can hit him. Strikes out 12.4 batters per 9 innings is what Hunter Greene's doing, but dang near feels like he's striking out two batters an inning sometimes out there, and he does. Feels like he's unhittable sometimes. He's got the stuff that people just can't keep up with, but he's also got the breaking ball that people have a hard time with. The problem is we're concerned about his control. He's throwing the ball all over the place. He's walking batters all over the place. Does that sound familiar? Maybe we're concerned about his velocity dropping a little bit. Can he continue to throw that hard his entire career? Should we wait a little bit, make sure he can do it? Does the number 54 ring a bell? Does the name Aroldis Chapman ring a bell? This feels like a deja vu of Aroldis Chapman all over again. The problem the Reds had the first time is, again, they waited a couple years for this guy to figure things out. And when he figured things out, he was lights out. Guys could not hit him. But when you give him time to figure things out and you establish yourself as one of the best in the league at your position, your pay grade goes up, and it goes up a lot. And I think what the Reds are doing here, and this is what a lot of lower budget teams are doing. We've just seen the Rays do it with Wander Franco. Wander Franco could be a steal of a contract. I mean, that guy's averaging under $18 million a year for 11 years. If that guy turns out to be half the player they want him to be, at $18 million a year, you're doing all right. The Reds, again, Hunter Greene, they're playing the same game here. You play for the future. It's obviously risky business, but as a team like the Reds, you have to take these chances, because what happens if Hunter Greene, maybe this year he still figures it out, or he's still figuring out the strike zone, clearly is right now. Maybe the end of the year he's got it figured out. Maybe next year he's dominant. But next year he's dominant, and all of a sudden we want to talk about an arbitration deal. Again, he'll be cheap on arbitration. $4, $5, $6, $7, $8 million for those arbitration years. Randy Arozarena won Rookie of the Year 2 years ago. He's getting $4 million a year right now. Just to kind of put things in perspective. The arbitration years are definitely cheap years. But if you wait that long, it's too late. Sure, you're going to get him under contract for a couple more years at a friendly deal, but when he hits free agency, he's out the door. Because you best believe if he pitches to be the guy, the ace that you expect him to be, when he hits free agency, he's hitting $30+ million a year. Easily. Especially 6 years down the road from now when you expect, again, more money to be generated. Easily $30 million a year. But they got a chance to pick him up for $16 million 1 year in free agency, $21 million another year in free agency at a very good discount. And a chance to keep him locked down on his team for a couple more years. I think this is the Reds pointing completely at to say, hey, we expect and we hope to be winning at this point in time. This is a move you make for the future that says, all right, we're going to be bad next year. It might be bad the year after that. We got a little bit of extra money to spend, throw it at Hunter Greene. Why not? Might be getting more than he should be this time in his career, but that's all right. That's okay. Because if 4 years down the road from now, this Reds team's really good, you don't want to get to year 3 and year 4, and all of a sudden you have to look at your ace walking out the door. Now you get to year 5, you get to year 6, and say, okay, we got him under control for 1 more year. And if we're really good, we're a playoff team, we're dominant, and this guy's pitching some lights out baseball out there, we're picking his contract up for $21 million a year for another year. You're buying 2 more years of Hunter Greene on his baseball team, in expectation and in preparation of this guy being your ace. And you have to be able to trust your farm since you have to be able to trust what you have on this team. And you have to invest in him, invest in it forward. Because that's the position the Reds are in. They're not in a position to wait and see. And I think that's why I love this signing. We're seeing, again, look at the Braves. Look how many guys the Braves have locked on long-term. They're young guys. You imagine how good that team's going to be for the future because they were willing to take that chance. I think that's the way for the Reds. I'd like to see them do it with a couple other players they feel good about. Stevenson being one of them. Again, you're worried about the injuries. You're worried about the injuries with everybody, though. By the time you hit 28, 29, you're worried about anything. The downhill decline, the injuries. But to say they have Hunter Greene until he's about 29, 28, 29, I like it. I'm a big fan. The worst that happens is they eat one bad year at 16 million, which is 16 million. They paid Moustakas 16 million to sit the bench. I think Hunter Greene will be more applicable than that. 16 million, then they let him go in a club option. You go somewhere else. Best case scenario, he's dominant. He's one of the best pitchers in the league because of that speed, because of that velocity, and because of that breaking ball. And you get to those last 2 years in his contract and say, wow, we stole this guy. We got a chance to bring some other players in, be a real World Series contender. You got to play for the future. A little shaky now, but I'm loving this signing. Love you guys' thoughts. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.